G'day guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Danny Bird. If you're a new viewer, welcome, and I hope you consider subscribing to the channel. For those of you returning, I hope my previous videos are helping your golf game improve. In today's video, we're going to be looking at why you struggle to get into side bend at impact like we see the best players in the world do. This video was inspired by a lesson I did over the weekend. So I had a student come in to me and they were trying to gain compression on their shots, and they were just concerned that they weren't quite getting into this sort of side bend that we often see on television, that we see the best players in the world do. And it was quite eye-opening, and it was actually a really simple reason as to why they were struggling. I thought I'd share that with you guys today. So if you're watching this video, I'm going to be guessing that we're seeing a little bit of this kind of early extension, pushing up and forward and, unable to get into side bend. And there are a handful of reasons, but this one is a really common reason. Now, this player trying to create compression on the golf ball was finding themselves trying to do that by hooding their club face in the takeaway and trying to remain with the loft off of the club in a hope that they would drive through impact, keeping loft down, and be able to get that compression that they desired. But the reality is that they weren't actually doing that. You see, the problem is when we de-loft the club greatly on the way down, as recreational players, we are far more likely to see the subconscious mind tell us, well, hold on. Firstly, we're unlikely to be traveling with the club from an inside to out path. We're far more likely to see it going from out to in. Secondly, if we maintain that direction and nothing else changes, we've taken our 7-iron, we have de-lofted it to almost a 4-iron, the path travels left, and we hit this low, horrible, scungy golf shot. So our brain kicks in and says, well, we need to re-add that loft. As you can see here, I've added that loft, but the only way I've been able to do that is to stand up tall through early extension. I've added my loft, and now I'm going to hit a really poor, weak shot. So we understand now what we're doing. I'm going to give you guys a really simple, easy training drill that you can do at home and you can do at the driving range. It's going to help you improve removing that early extension, but also help you get better compression on your iron shots. Okay, so our at-home drill. And guys, I've kind of preset this. So what I've done is I've taken an alignment stick here and I've run it through my belt loops. I've also got my golf ball on the ground. We won't be hitting it because we're doing at home work, but I like to use it as a reference point. And I've got my alignment stick here. So this is going to be positioned when I set myself up here off of my lead foot heel, and it's going to be pointing to the back end of the golf ball, so just past the back end of the golf ball with a 7-iron here. So I'm going to get myself into my setup position. What we're then going to do is very simply, for 5 minutes a day, for a 30-day period, we're going to work on this slow rehearsal swing. So we go from setup position, and you'll notice that my indoor club is cut down. We're going to swing to the top of the backswing. We're going to pause. We're going to slowly work down to impact, where I'm going to try to mimic the alignment stick on the floor and my club shaft. I'm going to hold that for a second. And what you'll also notice here is that I've moved my hips to be open, okay? So what I haven't done, if I try to stand up here, my alignment stick's going to point straight towards our intended target. I'm going to make sure that my hips are open to our intended target. So these are going to be pointing across. If you imagine that we're at a 90-degree angle here, I'm going to try to open those hips up to about 130 degrees. We're then going to pause, hold that position, let our body get used to that feeling, and then through. Okay? We're then going to repeat that again to the top. Watch the club on the way down. Make sure we're not deliberately trying to de-loft the club. Come through to impact, pause, my hips are open, my club shaft matches the alignment stick that's on the ground, hold it for a second and through. Now, we would get you guys to do this in blocks of, say, 5 swings, pause, take a 10-15 second break, go back in, work that again, and do that for 5 minutes. You're going to be surprised at the changes you're going to make. And as I always say, if you have the opportunity, you have a smartphone or an iPad or a device that you can record yourself on, please do record yourself, because you will notice some changes occurring. Even if the shot outcome isn't quite what you like at the range, you're going to see that with your at-home training. But what are we going to do when we go to the driving range? How can we train? Well, let me show you. So I know many of you guys like to train at the driving range. You want to hit some golf balls. So this would be a great training drill to help you. So what we're gonna do, golf ball on the ground, we're gonna place your trail foot in line with it. Simply take your iron stance width, and then we're gonna place into the ground an alignment stick. Now I've got my plane mate here because I'm indoors, but this is essentially in line with my lead foot and the golf ball in line with my trail foot here. So then we're going to, from the golf ball here, I'm gonna take a 1/2 meter step, and we're going to place the alignment stick in the ground. Now the interesting thing here is when I place my 7-iron on the ground, I've actually got this more angled at a 4-iron angle, and the reason being is I want to force you guys into the side bend movement. And by having the alignment stick set lower down, that's going to encourage us to get downwards and have the hands working appropriately. Now, we're still going to keep the alignment stick on the ground, which will sit in line with our lead heel and the back of the golf ball here. So when I get into my setup position, you can see that's positioned just off that lead heel. From here, we're just going to make some rehearsal swings. So we'll move the golf ball just briefly. We're going to make some dummy swings to begin with. So checking the downswing, make sure we're not de-lofting the club. Swing down and through. As you'll see in slow motion, as I work myself down, in order to avoid hitting the alignment stick here, I'm going to find myself staying in side bend, working up to my finish. We'll then hit some golf balls. So we're going to split the bucket. As always, I like to work into either halves or thirds. We're going to split the bucket into 3s. So we're going to hit the first third of the golf balls are going to be hit very deliberately, very slowly. So working through, making sure that our posture's good, setup's good. And then just very deliberate, stop at halfway, check the club face loft, look back down to the golf ball, and like a long chip shot, okay? First third of the bucket. Second third of the bucket, we're going to swing at 50% speed, okay? So set ourselves up. Nice and slow. And again, you can see I'm kind of holding off the finish because I'm trying to ensure that my right shoulder is staying down, I'm staying in side bend. The final third of the bucket, this is where we're going to hit full shots. This is where we're going to be paying some attention. So this is a good time to get your camera out and video yourself. We're going to be hitting these at full speed. So I'd ask you guys to go through your full pre-shot routine as if you're out on the golf course, as if you're playing competitively. And we're going to just try to get that speed up to be somewhere close, if not at full speed. One of the things that I would ask, if you're going to be videoing, make sure you also video from front on, because you're going to see if you're able to get your hands forward. And just quickly, if you are struggling to get your hands forward as much as you would like to, if you're struggling to get that compression without having to kind of de-loft the golf club, just set yourself up before you hit the golf ball. Just get that little push forward to double check and mimic where you want to be. Then relax, bring yourself back, and you can work your way through. Guys, as always, I appreciate you taking the time to watch today's video. And I do hope you found it helpful. And if you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Those likes go a long way to the video getting shared more. Helps the channel grow, therefore I can continue to create more free content for you guys. If you have a comment, if you have a question, please feel free to ask, put it in the comment section. As you'll see, I do get back to all comments. If you know a friend that's struggling with their game, maybe they need a little bit of help, please feel free to share the video with them. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you do subscribe, make sure you hit that little bell, because then you will get notified as videos get released each and every week. Until next time, guys, happy golfing.